right, it's a Wednesday morning here on The Middle, and we welcome you in. Thank you for being a part of the program as we inch closer to yet another football game, and I'm sure we'll cover every single possible angle of the 49ers-Eagles game just as we get into the middle part of the week. We also have Thursday night football, but you couldn't get here any closer than that. No college tonight. Which is a little disappointing.
Well, it's a little early for the Wednesday night, like Maction.
Yeah,
that's usually later in the year, I think.
I need a week two.
You need a Maction tonight?
This is week 3 of the college football season. They played a week 0. How much more do you need?
You're in need of Ball State against like Northern Illinois tonight.
Buffalo.
Yeah,
Buffalo against like Ryder
Akron.
or something.
Yeah, Buffalo Akron.
Penn State just played Ball State.
I know, and Temple just played Akron.
Ball State good enough. Well, I mean, Akron isn't good enough to win the MAC. Ball State is. Don't sleep on Ball State. They got a pretty good program up there.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
The Fighting David Lettermans.
Is that the most?
Yeah, the Fighting Jason Whitlocks.
We got to find 2 people more famous than that.
What?
You don't get anybody famous than that.
How are you more famous than Letterman?
Right.
Letterman is nobody knows who he is anymore.
Well, now he's just like an old guy with a huge, ugly beard. I get
He looks
that,
like a mountain man.
He does, and he
just turned around from being, this guy from, everybody knew from the late night show to now just
he looks like the Unabomber.
Yeah, living off the land.
Yeah, living off the land in his mansion in Connecticut. I don't think he's really living off the land. As close as he gets to living off the land, Barrett is sitting out in his Adirondack chair overlooking his massive backyard and eating something from Whole Foods. That's about as close as David Letterman gets to living off the land.
That's the life I want to live, Dan.
Yes.
Put it like that.
Right. Smoking a cigar,
He's in a part of Connecticut that doesn't even have Whole Foods. It's
really?
It's like too rich for even that.
Where was he? Greenwich?
Whole Foods is like the Aldi.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So he's okay. So what is he? Like, Greenwich or Westport or something?
No. Because Greenwich is like it still has areas where you could go out and buy stuff and areas of commerce, even though that there are tons of gated areas. I think he's up in like New Canaan.
Oh, he is? Oh, that's where Mad Dog Russo lives.
Yeah. You think Russo's going out there doing any type of shopping?
No, I don't shop, and I live in Conshohocken, basically.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But, you don't have to go to the Aldi. You think Russo's slumming it at the Aldi?
No.
I don't think so. Not so much. Not Letterman either. Remember, there was that whole thing with Letterman where they had the stalker. The person that showed up and lived in the house for a while.
Right. Yeah, that was pretty bizarre.
Brady. Remember Brady had that.
Mm-hmm.
Where somebody was coming in there messing with his memorabilia.
Yeah, in his house, bro. In his house.
Really?
Can you believe it? Yeah.
Wait. I missed this. That somebody got in his house?
We did a promo on this. Ron Culver cut it up.
He went in his house. Remember, he was looking for the Super Bowl rings.
Okay. Yeah. Right. I do remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's over. It's over for him.
Right.
It's over for Letterman too. Come on.
Yeah. And the stream has already noticed that Barrett did not get the white cap memo today.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I can always rectify that.
Yeah.
Go get your Phillies hat so you can pander to the people that still care about that baseball team. You know that they've been buried into the ground.
I'd like to thank the baseball team, the Philadelphia Phillies.
Why is that?
Well, for knowing when to bow out and just get totally out of the way, get off of the consciousness of the sports fan. They know when to do it. I mean, they've lost 6 of their last 7 games, and it's football season. They know. They all see it.
They see it. We all see it, right?
Bowed out, not bow wow.
No, not bow wow. We've got some bow wow audio we could play on today's show.
They definitely missed. They definitely understood that, all right, especially since the Eagles won. They're like, all right, let's step aside for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Step aside in what sense? Like, go ahead, take it.
Yeah. You got this. You got next. Put it like that. You got next.
Not we got next.
No, you got next.
That ad campaign that really didn't do much for the WNBA, right? I think they gave up on that.
Well, what do you think of the new ad campaign for the NFL? You got my back. I got your back. You got my back. I got your back.
I was kind of hyped with that the Rams, man. I was hyped.
That was Aaron Donald, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hyped, man.
Videos. What do you need a hype video for?
It's the NFL.
Seriously,
you don't need no hype videos.
That's a video in its own right. What the hell? You need some coach yelling, you need a hype video? This is your life. Yeah. This is your money. This is your kid's future. You need a goddamn hype video. What the hell is right? Shaking a guy like Lou Holtz spitting in his face.
Bro, the days of that are over, man. You got to be overly sensitive to talk to these athletes these days.
Yeah.
I mean, they get an attitude so quick.
Yeah. I'm out on sensitivity.
Quick. Right.
All right.
You've got enough.
I got no time for sensitivity.
I've seen it.
No Ralph Tresvant?
Yeah. In fact, you should just send me to sensitivity training just so I can rip it.
Harry, you might need that. You might need that. My
what
mother always says that I love Harry because Harry just tells the truth. He doesn't care.
Yeah,
he just says the truth.
Right. People like me don't exist in this world anymore.
He said, you and Eytan, at least you and Eytan are sugarcoat a little bit. Harry's not sugarcoating anything.
I got no sugar. Sugar's bad for you. Okay? You should eliminate sugar from your diet.
You always tell the truth, even when you lie.
Right, exactly. Exactly right. Yes. Now, we were trying to get guests on the show, right? It's very difficult, and I just want to explain this to people. I try basically every day to get somebody on. And these beat writers, this is like the worst time of day to get a beat writer on who covers the local football team because they're all down there doing their job. Right. Attending press conferences or in the locker room or, practice, whatever it is, or writing a story for, something that needs to be on their website, by 2:00 in the afternoon or whatever it is. So it's really difficult. So I see you went to our old boss, who's out in San Francisco in the Bay Area, to try to procure at least a guest to talk Niners. So he and I were talking on the phone yesterday. He actually called me, Eytan.
After my text?
Yes, because I texted him because I wanted him to help me for my Sunday show as well. So he says, I'll call you in 5. And I'm like, really? He's going to call me? Because we haven't spoken in a long time. So he calls me and he's running through these guest options. And he says, I think I got one for you and Barrett and Eytan. He's a former player, played for the Niners. I think it'd be really good with Barrett. He's trying to get into the business. He really is following the team. He's up on, he's really like into it and aware of what's going on. He's not like one of these former players who just played there and doesn't care. You know what I mean? Right. So he gives me this guy's name and his number. And so I start texting with him. And it's Ian Williams. Now, are you
I know Ian.
Him? Oh, you know Ian. Okay.
Yeah, I work with Ian. In fact, I was helping him, get into broadcast. The NBC, he worked with NBC. And they had me go through and me and him talk, was trying to tutor, not necessarily tutor him, but, all our RSNs, in the Bay Area, everywhere, we're the number one RSN. We're the number one NBC
regional sports
network. Yeah. We're the number one. We're the first one, but we're the number one because, everybody loves to watch, Seth and Ray Diddy and Mike. So long story long, they had me go through like almost a tutorial type of process with them where we just, went back and forth and, watch clips and everything else on, how to do that, and he
how to break it down and analyze. Yeah, he seems. Yeah, he's probably. He went to Notre Dame. This guy, and he played for defensive tackle, like nose tackle for the Niners until he got hurt, and then he got cut on an injury settlement, and has been out of the league, I guess.
Well, look, Notre Dame's got a big one too this week, so maybe we could talk to him about that one.
Well, I'd love that. So I'm texting back and forth. He says, "Yeah, Friday works," and because Barrett's out tomorrow, and I don't think he could do today. So I said Friday. So we're trying to work out a time. He said that sounds good. I keep sending him, hey, what time works? Because he wouldn't give me the, like 11:30, 12, whatever.
Oh, no.
And then he says today, after I asked him again, oh, man, I'm out. Friday's too hectic for me. So he canceled.
I hate to do it to him.
I know. That's what I said to the old boss. I said, your boy canceled on us already. I hate to do it to him.
It's over. That's really what we get right now. This is it. It's over. We didn't even get anything launched yet.
No, it was canceled before it started.
This is.
I think I have a I have to do a segment tonight with one of those guys from over there for
everybody comes after you, Barrett.
Staley.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Staley,
the old offensive lineman.
Yeah, the offensive tackle. Yeah, we're gonna do a Zoom. For the show this weekend.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Zoom.
And I'll get the number so we can get them on Friday. How about that?
Yeah. Oh, that would be awesome. Oh man. Eytan, did you just hear that?
I did hear that.
Here we go.
Now, here's the
not Lane Staley of Alice in Chains. He's no longer with us.
No, there are a couple of Staleys that
Deuce
Dawn Staley.
Deuce, right. Dawn.
Deuce
yeah.
Staley.
Well, what about though going back to our old boss? Is he going to help us with anybody else, or was that just like a one-time thing and it didn't work, so we're screwed?
I think he might be out of bullets.
He had one bullet. You telling me that's it? He had one bullet. That's all he had. One goddamn run.
Well, and I'm talking to him, right? And he's like, I said, Eytan will love this too. He goes, yeah, what's up with him? And I go, what do you mean? He goes, on Twitter. Like he's trying to, like, I don't know what he's doing, with the trying to out all these bots or whatever you're doing, like all the phony, tweets and stuff. He can't understand what you're trying to do. No? I said, he's trying to clean up the site.
Hey man, don't blame me. I'm just out here doing the dirty work.
You're doing the dirty work. You're doing the dirty work.
Yes, yeah, he's in the trenches. He's in the Twitter trenches.
Shout out to Norm Macdonald for dirty work.
Oh man, yeah. How about that?
What?
Genius.
He passed away apparently. What was he? 61 years old, way too young, and apparently he had cancer for like a decade, and nobody knew it. Like he wouldn't tell anybody. I don't know how you do that, though. I don't know how you go through treatments and whatever else, that all entails, and nobody finds out about it. That's pretty amazing.
That is amazing. Well, I mean, I didn't know the Black Panther had cancer. He didn't tell anybody.
That's right.
Yeah, is another one too.
Yeah.
Chadwick Boseman and Donald. Yeah, and being able to keep it. Well, I think also too. I mean, we work in a business where we constantly need to know what's wrong with somebody. What's wrong with that guy's hip? What's wrong with it? And then when something serious happens, it's oh my goodness. But I think a lot of times we take for granted that just because somebody's famous, that it means or doesn't, I guess, mean that we know everything about their health, right? And sometimes people come out and they announce it. But yeah, that was both definitely shocking. And McDonald, there are a bunch of clips that have popped up from Norm Macdonald on different shows, and he was an SNL veteran.
Can we play any of those, or is that a violation? Because some of them are really good. Like when he hosted the ESPYs. Did you see that one that's floating around?
I saw somebody tweet us that he was hosting.
Yes.
Now, what did he say? I can see if I can pull that up.
Well, it was about the Heisman Trophy. Okay, so he's pointing out who had won the most recent Heisman Trophy. The guys in the audience, and he says something to the effect that you'll have that forever. Well, that isn't unless you murder your ex-wife and a waiter.
Oh wow!
I mean, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Yeah. And the whole audience reacted like, "Oh my god!" Like,
that's great.
Like, how do I react to this? Should I laugh?
Right. That was almost like a Ray Rhodes speech.
That's the kind of stuff that he does, man. He's just saying,
I don't get it.
I mean, she's talking about OJ.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
And then there's some stuff I think with Conan O'Brien.
The moth joke is really
right. He was so quick.
Yes.
Very quick.
If you send me that link,
all right,
because I can't get on here without it freezing on our end. So
send me that which link. One? The ESPYs?
Yeah, send me both the ESPYs and the moth joke. The moth joke is really funny because it's one of these where it's like a perfect encapsulation of Norm Macdonald. His humor was just different.
Yeah.
Like he was just a different guy. Like his humor was not really like anybody else's. I don't know. Like you have, like I mean, like you sound like Charlie Manuel here. I mean, like like it is what it is.
Right. I don't know much about him, so I'm just living vicariously through you guys'
Well, he was on Saturday Night Live when Saturday Night Live was still really, really, really good.
Oh, okay.
And he mastered the art of the update, like that bit that they've been doing for decades, since maybe the beginning of the show. I don't know, but he was probably the best at it. The news update, bit. And that's where, what really got him famous from the start, right, Eytan? And then he started getting all these movie episodes, movie roles.
Because, again, like his weekend update and his delivery was just different. It was just so unique. So I just think a lot of people looked at him. And I mean, he would push it. He would push his humor. He was definitely somebody who would take risks, I think is the term. Right? As far as that term.
Absolutely. Yeah. And he was a huge gambler. Like he loved to wager on golf, football, you name it, any kind of sport, and also playing cards. He was really, really into playing poker and stuff.
There you go.
Big stake stuff.
All right, we'll pull. We'll come back to that and pull some clips up there by all means of Norm. Now I saw in the chat that John McMullen was ripping somebody earlier this morning. Is that?
McMullen was ripping somebody?
Yeah, he's ripping Sirianni, it looks like.
On Birds 365?
Yeah, for somebody wearing something. I guess Sirianni was wearing stuff again.
Well, he was wearing that T-shirt I told you about, the dog.
Yeah. It wasn't anything else?
I'm not sure. Maybe Xander can help us. Could we pull that up and play that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know when or where it was. I was looking for the actual clip because we had a bunch of other stuff going on here with Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
But that's all I was saying is, this guy, is he still wearing? Are they wearing more dog gear today?
I'm not sure. I haven't done a clothing update.
Well, I tell you, this team better come out and put up 50 on San Francisco.
Yeah.
After all of this, that's all I'm saying.
All right, I'm going to email you the ESPYs bit to start.
Okay. No, I just didn't know. Right now we're still waiting for practice to end, technically, right?
Yes.
So what time are these guys going to get off the field?
I don't know.
Okay.
Does it matter?
No, just saying it matters as far as what guys are saying and what comes out this week, especially knowing how difficult the task is.
Well, we need to know who McMullen ripped. That's what we need to know.
Sirianni is my point.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I believe so.
Wow. After his big win, how do you rip Sirianni? I don't care if he showed up for a press conference in his birthday suit. He's 1-0, and he totally outcoached Arthur Smith.
Not Arthur Blank, who probably did a better job than
Arthur Blank probably would have done a better job.
He won, man.
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
I mean, what are we doing? You can't just rip a coach after he wins.
I know. It's just not the time. Time and place.
Not at all, Mike.
But now, honestly, I'm the biggest homer there is. But do you really think that this team is going to beat San Fran? I mean, just looking at the way they're constructed, looking at the athletes that they have. I mean, I know we're going to get into it. We're at midweek, but man, San Fran is just not an average team.
No,
I think they're pretty good, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They're really good on the defensive side of the ball. They're okay at offense, but defensively, they have 3 first-rounders on their defensive line.
Well, I saw, talk about their offense. Jimmy G actually had a better rating in week 1 than Jalen Hurts did.
I can believe that.
And we looked at it, I was very impressed with Jalen Hurts. I mean, I didn't see, anything but some highlights of the Niners-Lions game, but he must have been impressive.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the thing is, remember, a lot of people will look at the final score and they'll get caught watching the box score and say, well, something must be wrong with Joey Bosa. Something must be wrong with that 49ers team.
Right.
They were asleep for the majority of that second half because they destroyed that Lions team in the first half.
Right.
Garoppolo was part of it. And look, Brandon Ayuk was the one who disappeared. It didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
They were down Raheem Mostert. They were essentially down Brandon Ayuk because he was just not a factor at all.
Yeah.
And Deebo Samuel took over that football game.
Mostert's gone for the year now too, so they should be in the market for another running back. I mean, maybe Howie flips Jordan Howard out to San Francisco.
That's definitely a possibility.
You know,
this is tough, man. You know, because
Howard. Go ahead. Sorry.
You didn't see anything negative from Nick Sirianni from what he did. Now, the only thing you can really, say, all right, you guys need to stop, or the penalties, the pre-snap penalties. The penalties don't. What he say? That don't. How did he phrase that? Penalties that don't have athleticism or something like that, man. He said, pre-snap penalties will kill you every time, and they're not good enough to get past those type of penalties. But going into this game, just realistically, man, you just got to look. That was a terrible Falcons team. They're going to have a really good San Fran team they're going to be going against. So, it's just going to see who's going to be more disciplined. You take our starters, you take their starters. We actually, go toe-to-toe with them.
Yeah. Offensively,
defensively. From a special team standpoint, we're right there with them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we just have to see, we're just a younger team than they are.
Yeah. Now, King James III points out that the Niners signed Kerryon Johnson to their practice squad just this week. I saw John McMullen tweet about that. Now, is that one of those deals where they want to try to get some insight as to what's going on here? Because he was here for a cup of tea.
Yeah, that and he's pretty good.
If he's healthy.
Yeah, they'll bring him up. He'll be on the 43-man roster for game time. So they'll sign him and bring him up for them. They just want to see if he can play first and really see if he can contribute and pick up the game plan. If he can do that, then they'll sign him going into the game. But they're going to wait and watch him practice first. See, when you go NFL practices, today and tomorrow are the hardest practices. This is when you have all the install, when you practice the install, today and tomorrow. Now, if he looks good today and tomorrow, then they'll sign him on Friday. Well, let's probably sign him Saturday night, and he'll be on the 43-man roster on game day. But you also have to understand they're on the West Coast. I mean, they're on the East Coast.
They're on the East Coast. They're in West Virginia.
They're in West Virginia right now. So they really can't see what he really can do until they get him out of practice.
Yeah, and Dom Lewis points out on the stream the thing you were talking about with Sirianni. It was something to the effect that penalties, they don't require talent.
That's
like eliminating penalties doesn't require talent. It's something
that's what it was.
Whether you're a great player or not, it's a mental thing. You can get rid of that.
Right.
We're plagued by penalties, including the first half.
Right.
For Atlanta.
Well, that just comes with them not playing. I mean,
it killed their drives too. Yeah. A couple of their drives.
Yeah, and the difference though is that San Fran comes in here much tighter, and there's just I don't think you can take anything, nor should you take anything away. It's a completely different matchup. Like Atlanta, their defense versus the 49ers defense, right? Their offense, which was non-existent, but also because of the new head coach and all these new things.
Horrible debut for that head coach.
It's not talented enough either.
No, I know, but I mean
he's got a lot of talent that has returned on the offensive side of the football. I'm not worried about the running back position. Elijah Mitchell could easily run the ball 30 times. That's what they do. They slide people in there. Their running game is
they're
influential.
Predicated on play action.
That tight end getting the football as fast as possible.
What kind of a game did he have last week, Eytan, against the Niners? Kittle.
Well, remember, this is a tale of two halves, right?
Right.
Where the 49ers did so much damage in the first half that even the game script, and I was surprised, mind you. I mean, they outscored them 23-10 in the second half alone. But Kittle was targeted a bunch. I want to see how many times. 4 or 5 times. And again, a lot of that in the first half to where you're up so much, you're not peppering him with the football. So Samuel doing some big work in the first half, Kittle doing the majority, if not all of his work, right, in the first half. And then they just chilled. Like he only completed 18 passes.
The whole game.
He only threw the ball 25 times.
Right. Well, that's kind of normal for them. I think he's that kind of coach where he's like, if I got to have Garoppolo thrown at 35, 40, 45 times, I'm in trouble.
Well, he showed that in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He showed that. He didn't give Garoppolo an opportunity to lose the game for him. He said, if I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose what I do, and that's run the ball, play good defense. And that's the way they lost the game. They didn't allow Garoppolo to be a major influence on which way the game was going to be tilted.
And that's because he didn't realize what we said the other day, that when you're playing Kansas City, it's like playing Golden State, back in their heyday, man. They're going to keep doing what they do, firing up threes, whether they got the lead or not. And you got to keep your foot firmly on the gas.
You have to.
Yep.
You have to. And I think, from this year's standpoint, he's going to do the same thing. He's going to do whatever he thinks is going to help his team win. Now, he wants really to put, Trey in. He wants Trey to be the starter.
Right. He had a touchdown pass.
Yeah, it just won't make sense for him to do that right now when you have G there. Jimmy G is still, at this point, a better quarterback. He's a better quarterback than Trey Lance is right now. But he doesn't want to, ruin the kid's, psyche, if he goes and have a bad game or anything like that. So he's kind of trying to coddle him through this thing, giving him reps and everything else. And Jimmy G's
upside is nowhere near what Lance.
Not even close.
No,
not even close.
Interesting that he only plays the one snap, even though they were up by so much.
Mm-hmm.
And you could argue that at 31-10, coming into the second half, for a guy who forced a lot of Trey Lance in the preseason, there was plenty of time to get him out there.
Yeah. Yep.
Before you realized that Detroit was coming out, like Detroit put up 16 in the fourth, right? So even in that third quarter, it wasn't like Detroit was coming out, oh man, all of a sudden, you've got your back end guys in, and then there's, 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And you see fill in the blank head coach in the NBA say, all right, let's get the starters back in here.
Right.
Maybe we should stop messing around a little bit, get the starters back here, just end this game. You weren't even close to that. So that's why I find it fascinating that Trey Lance didn't get more work, at least coming out in the third. I mean, look,
maybe he doesn't want to damage Garoppolo's psyche too much.
Well,
right, that too.
What more would you want? Like, it's almost like giving this Garoppolo the second half off. That's my point.
The writing's on the wall for him because the writing's on the wall for him because he's going to be virtually either traded or something like that because he knows his time there is over.
Mm-hmm.
So looking forward, I look at it from the Eagles standpoint. I want to see if he's going to keep the same type of mix that he had as far as older players and younger players when it's a tight game because he played a lot of young guys that I didn't think was going to linebacker Johnson. I think he was going to play him. I think he was going to play Williams that much, and he played him, the defensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
Will he keep that same type of mix of veteran and young guys going into a game that's really tight? I want to see that. I mean, does he trust them enough?
Yeah, I mean, look. That's an interesting question here. We'll break. We'll come back. We'll look at some of these things here. We didn't find exactly right what happened with McMullen ripping, right?
No.
Okay. So maybe somebody in the stream can help us.
I'm going to text him during the break.
McMullen was tearing into today.
Yeah.
All right, we're back in 3. Hit us up. Leave us a like. Make sure you are subscribed to the JAKIB Media YouTube page, all here on The Middle.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit. Glass is for cocktails, right?
It's for this, and that.
Is the length of the glass equal to your...
You betcha.
But is it made out of...
Glass?
Okay, but is the rip...
Smooth?
Will you stop doing...
That?
I'm the professional here.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. 1 free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. All from the company that's highly awarded. 0 carbs, zero sugar, and deliciously tasting vodka. So good, it just disappears.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
I sent you the audio, Eytan.
What's that?
I sent you the Norm Macdonald moth cut and also the one from the ESPYs.
The ESPYs.
Yeah.
Ah, the ESPYs.
Something that I've never watched.
You're not a fan of the ESPYs? You know you can bet on the ESPYs.
You can?
Yeah. You want to hear this? Or you want
I love it.
Maybe we can see it, right? I guess.
I don't know. I think that might be pushing the boundaries.
All right.
And what a season he had. Great, man. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case...
Charles Woodson. You should have seen the look on his face. Did you see it, Eytan?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's like...
And I mean, he wasted no time on that, by the way.
Right.
Zero time on that. Now, we have to be able to play this, the moth one, too, though, right?
Yeah.
The moth one's a little longer. That's the thing. But this is something here. So this is a little bit of an older Norm Macdonald, by the way. You could tell he's a little heavier. This is like I don't know, a little deeper into his career, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll play that a little bit later, coming up.
All right,
by all means. I just nothing yet on McMullen Gate.
No,
right?
I texted him and he's not responding.
All right,
McMullen Gate.
Yeah.
I have some disappointing news also, guys. I just
oh my God.
Yeah, I just looked at Dave Zangaro. He says he has stuff he has to do too.
Yep. Everybody's busy. Nobody has time for the middle.
When was
sorry.
For tomorrow.
We have press conferences.
That's what I told you. That's why I've been trying to get guys on, all these last couple of days, and they all got press conferences.
Are you serious?
Yep. Zach Berman. Tim McManus has to run it up the mothership ESPN flagpole.
Why?
I think the president of ESPN has to approve if he goes on any other outlet than an ESPN station.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
No. That's
everybody's trying to hold on to their own content.
Yeah. Yeah. No, listen, nothing is ever going to get stretched out on the show. So just so you know out there on the stream, I'll pull this McMullen thing all day. All right.
No, but I tell you, these guys like Zach Berman. I love Zach Berman. He's on The Athletic. If I'm a member of The Athletic, I'm trying to get on every freaking media outlet I can to spread the word about why you need to subscribe and where you're going to get real, true journalism. These guys should be out there doing somersaults to promote that stuff.
I agree.
There's no question about
right?
that. You know, I mean, just to be honest, I mean, I was a media whore for a long time. You know
you still are. You still are a whore. Get out of here.
I mean, I rarely say no to anybody, man. I try to get it all, man.
Right.
And I'm just like Eytan. It started off on Breakfast on Broad. I was doing stuff with Eytan. We were going to the casinos doing stuff, and all of a sudden I called Eytan. I said, I got a guy for you. My guy Eytan. You talking about a guy that, you know, well-versed at betting, well-versed at, you know, all things Philadelphia sports.
And he'll show up at 5:45 in the morning.
And that's what I said. And he'll show up at 5:45.
Right.
He will be here, guaranteed. Right. He won't. Right. And they were like, all right, let's try him. And bam, he started going on a lot. After that, then you got your gig with Fox 29, didn't you?
That's right. Yeah. Well, after that, Tom Loudon moving around was pretty good.
Right.
That helped me. Trust me. It's nice.
So Zangaro's out for tomorrow. Is basically what
correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's out for tomorrow. Now, Barrett, you're out for tomorrow. Are you out Friday too, or just tomorrow?
No, I'm there Friday.
Okay, so tomorrow is a travel day for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, just making sure.
I sent a text to Tony Bruno about tomorrow.
Oh, did you?
Waiting to hear back.
Now, see that some guys are just gold. He's golden.
Yeah.
See, King James III, McMullen ripped Nick for last-minute Phillies gear for the interview while having a purple shirt underneath.
So the fact that he had a purple shirt mixed with the Phillies gear?
Yeah, not the purple drank nor the purple tape. Two completely different things there.
Maybe that was a Mount Union T-shirt or shirt that he had underneath it. That's where he went to college, right?
Mount Union,
and they're the purple. Their purple is their color, I think.
Purple Nurples, is that what they're?
No, they're not the purple Nurples.
Okay, I thought.
No, they might be purple Raiders or something.
What's a Nurple? What type of mascot is that?
Yeah, they're the Purple Raiders, Mount Union. Maybe it was a purple Nurple, Purple Raiders T-shirt.
Oh my God. This is amazing. He had the purple Nurple going. Wait, Barrett's like, what the hell's a Nurple?
Right.
You don't remember that? Like some idiot, some ass at the playground would twist people's nipples.
Right.
It's a purple Nurple.
Right. It's like when you grasp the person's nipple between your thumb and your forefinger.
Yeah,
and
you just
squeeze it.
Yeah.
Turn it.
There was a many guys that got their butt toe up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You better make sure you're faster than the person you're twisting their nipple.
Right. Right.
That is a pain. Like, you can be completely neutralized. You get kicked in the groin, you're fine. You know, you can dance around that person, but you twist somebody's nurple like that, man, you better run. You better make sure you could run. That's all I'm saying. All right, so all of this for Sirianni wearing the purple. I told you, man. This is how it's come. Now we have beat reporters questioning this man's gear.
I just say time and place. He won the game, a convincing win. I don't know the need to break down his wardrobe after that.
I was saying, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It does. It does since it's week one.
Well, you know what? I think it's more so this. I think it's the culture and way things are these days. I mean, look at these boxers. These boxers are walking billboards now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they went so far as to like draw stuff on their backs. You know, like Sharpies on their back just to, you know, sell the portion of their back. They sell their shorts.
What was that casino that did that first? They had the tattoo on the box. Well, I don't know. I think it was something. Golden Palace.
Golden Nugget.
Golden Palace was what it was.
Golden in there.
Yeah, sure. It was Golden Palace.
Yeah. Well, look, I think you say time and place. I think that this is not an easy schedule. And there's a lot that I just think needs to happen here. You can't be coming out creating a product or creating a brand when there is a ton of time left. Like, if you finish 7 and what would it be? 10.
7 and 10.
there are 7 chances in which you can put your chest out and gloat and talk about dog mentality and all the other crap going on there, that good stuff that pours into a victory. But you know what? There are 10 times in which that doesn't work. So that's all I'm saying. It's just like, look, I have no problem with guys celebrating in game. I have no problem with that. I want people thinking like, you don't want any fun. I love the fun. I
love the defensive line celebration on Sunday. How about that when they did that kung fu kick thing?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they're kicking the door. They call it kicking the door.
Kicking the door? Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
kicking the door open. Well, that's the same stuff they did in 2017, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. Look, week 1, you're coming out with shirts and all this other, again, this stuff, it takes time in this league, and this league is better than any sports league in catching up to you. I mean, look at Lamar Jackson. The guy has generational talent in areas that you will never be able to teach, and he has struggled in the playoffs for whatever reason. Not all his fault. I'm just saying, guys slowed. Aaron Rodgers only won 1 Super Bowl in Green Bay. Shit happens in this league is all I'm saying, man.
Well, yeah, and they didn't show anything during the preseason, and it was all, the idea that, they're not going to know what's coming. We're going to surprise some people. They obviously did on Sunday. Now you see what, the defensive coordinators, and coaches for the Niners are going to do with a couple of days' work on that film. It'll be interesting to see.
And that's the biggest thing right there. Defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators get paid millions of dollars to shut down offenses and defenses. They will find a way to try to slow that down.
Yeah.
Now, can, Nick Sirianni and his squad counter that? It's all about counter punches. Are you hit me there? All right, I'm going to come back, swing, uppercut you from here. That's what's going on, man. The league, that's what they do, man. And it's also a league that copycats things. So you might see, I like what they did here. Let me see if I can put this in here. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you just have to be able to coach. And that's one thing that we did see from Gannon. Rich Gannon, he went out there, he counterpunched after they went and punched him in the mouth in the first quarter. Jonathan Gannon. Yeah. He went and punched him in the mouth in the first quarter. Then the second half, he came back and uppercut him and swung and bam, cut that offense all the way down. They didn't do anything after that. Nobody, Calvin Ridley or anybody. Gage got 1 catch in the second half.
He didn't have a catch, period.
They didn't even look his way. That's the thing.
2 targets.
They didn't even look his way, and that's
Arthur Smith was a dud. You talk about debuts. I mean, think about if Sirianni, gave us an Arthur Smith in week 1, what we'd be doing today.
Oh,
that was horrendous.
Rock, paper, scissors, all this other stuff. But here's the thing, though. The 49ers offense has already been proven to be a very difficult thing to figure out. That's what Shanahan does. He puts guys in motion. He'll have the same 3 or 4 sets, but they'll look different every single time. Guys will be in different spots. There'll be pre-snap motion. There's so much going on with Shanahan's offense where Arthur Smith just put guys up. Yeah, me too on the stream. Muhammad Malik echoing a lot of frustration for Gage.
Oh, yeah, Gage.
But here's the thing, though. That's a major difference between Arthur Smith, who just lined guys up and thought, well, we've got talent, let's move the ball, to Kyle Shanahan, where this offense has already been for years since he's been there. And Barrett making the Super Bowl. This is a complicated offense. And
actually, it's not.
Yeah.
What I'm saying,
it's actually simple.
For defenses based on the looks they get. No, your point, I know where you're going. I'll let you make it. I'm sorry. But it's not complicated from when you're running it, but it's complicated of all the different looks they give, like the same 4 or 5 sets. That's my point.
Absolutely. Well, they run so many different looks to one play.
Right.
They may come into the game with 10 run plays, and they'll run 3 different personnel packages and motions for the same play. It looks different, but exactly the same play. Right. See, Shanahan comes from his pops. His pops was his schemes were, all right, we're just going to run zone. We're going to run zone.
Yeah, zone
inside
blocking.
And outside zone. Yeah. But we're going to run in so many different ways. We're going to have a bunch formation. We're going to have a trips formation to the opposite side. We're going to run it to the open side. They just run it so many different ways, but it's the same exact play.
So
same thing when I was in
tell.
Pittsburgh.
There's
no tell.
for the
exactly.
defense.
That's exactly what they do.
Yeah.
In Pittsburgh, we did the same thing, in a way that we would, we would motion, but we line up a different set. All right, we'd have a bunch formation this time. Then we'll turn around, we'll bring in another personnel package. We'll have 2 tight ends, and we'll run it from the same play from this personnel package. They just changed the packages, but it's the same exact play. It's like you're getting vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
But we're going to give you so many sprinkles on this one. You're going to put cherries on this. We're going to put chocolate
sauce in
sauce
a chocolate ice cream container, but it's
exactly.
vanilla. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
That's exactly what it is. Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. Now, did you guys know that 12 underdogs covered in week 1? 12.
Wow. 16 games.
Yep. 12 underdogs covered. That's the most ever in the Super Bowl era on a week 1.
How many were outright winners?
9 dogs won outright.
Yeah, well, the Cincinnati one was the easy one for me.
Mm-hmm. Then, yeah, right.
But here's the thing, though. Like, I mean, like, now we count.
We
count Vegas.
Of course.
Buffalo was and some of these lines, though, they didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo laying 6.5 at home.
Right.
Was ridiculous against Pittsburgh. By the way, speaking of which, Pittsburgh laying 6 at home I love that. I love Pittsburgh at home against the Vegas Raiders.
I like the other side.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Pittsburgh's offense did not look all that good to me. I mean, that without that punt really block. Good. What's that?
Their defense looked insanely good on the road against one of the best offenses and quarterbacks in the game.
Yeah. Oh,
and now you're up on Derek Carr because he had one big
no.
Brown.
I'm just not overreacting to Pittsburgh.
I think this is a line that's going to try and trap people into Vegas. Oh, you kidding me? Vegas, they beat Baltimore outright overtime. They're getting 6 on the road. Are you kidding me? Lock it up. I could see you saying that right now.
Yep. That's exactly what I said.
Lock it up.
I like Carolina too.
Boy, I'm staying this far away from these divisional games. There's no need to bet a divisional game. Why?
Too early?
Why? Well, no, it's just so difficult. Like everything would tell you that the New Orleans Saints would cruise in this game, but it's a short line. It's
on the road.
Yeah, it's on the road. It's a tough one there. No, the one that I like the most. There are 2 that I really like. And this is crazy because the Titans are going to start off 2-0 or 0-2. But I'll take Seattle, even laying that 5. It's dropped too, by the way. So I'll take Seattle.
4.5 in some spots.
I love the over 55, by the way, for Dallas and LA.
Yeah. So what's the Panthers Saint line?
3.
3?
Yeah.
And you say you guys like the Panthers on it?
I do.
Oh, I'm just staying away from. I'm staying as far away from it as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's tough.
It's a divisional opponent. Like there are way too many things that could happen.
3.5. 3.5.
So I got it at 3. Or I saw it at 3.
It's 3.5 most places.
Like Denver laying 6 at Jacksonville, no problem there. Teddy Bridgewater is a cover machine, especially on the road.
Jacksonville could be the worst team in the league.
Which is shocking because I thought Houston and Detroit would be fighting for that.
I know.
But Atlanta's, I'd say
Atlanta's there too. Yeah.
Right. What's that line? 50?
What's that? The total for
Atlanta and
Atlanta and Tampa?
It's a 12-point spread. The total's 52.5.
Yeah, I kind of like if I had to take it, I'd take Atlanta.
Yeah, but
I would go with the under.
Yeah, me too. I like the under in that play. Yeah. Under 50. I don't think you can count on Atlanta scoring all these second half points like we saw.
Exactly.
They may be worse than last year, man.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of points.
Well, they're not going to score. Their defense is too tough for them. But, I mean, then, Tom Terrific, he probably, call off the dogs. And,
it's a little bit of a letdown game.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, this is a defensive game here. Atlanta's offense just may not, even with opportunity, Atlanta's offense may not score much.
Right.
Wow. I would go under 52.5 for the Bucs-Falcons game. I love going over 55 for the Dallas Chargers game. Dallas is going to be just a monster when it comes to points and tempo for everybody that wants to play.
I like over in that KC Baltimore game too.
55 points.
Yeah.
I see that over also.
Yeah.
Kansas City just so difficult to keep out of the end zone, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the winner of that game is going to have to score almost 35, 38 points.
What about the Lions Packers?
Well, everybody's going to overreact and take Green Bay and lay the points, thinking that they're just going to beat them 44-10.
It's down to 11 where we have here.
11. Yeah, it is down to 11.
It dropped a half a point, and I think people were taking Detroit, kind of overthinking it. Look, this game here, I think if you want to do anything, this is a game that you take Green Bay and you tease it. Like lock in a 6 or 7 point teaser for Green Bay and build it around other games, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no way the Packers aren't covering a 3 or 4 point spread, but I guarantee you that it's going to be a sweat for this 11 point. Just because it's hard, man. It's hard to cover 11 points in this league. It's difficult.
And the Lions are going to fight, man. The Lions are going to fight, man. That's one thing they're going to do.
That's a
they're
great
going to fight,
point.
bro.
Your boy, Dan Campbell up there has got him believing after
He's
that.
biting off kneecaps, man.
Did he do that at the half? Do we know that? Like, did he take a chunk out of a dead body? Did they bring in
I think they brought in a cadaver.
And he just started chunking away at it?
From the local medical school. They brought in a cadaver and he bit the knee, just went right in there.
Chunk on it.
Not bend the knee, bent the knee, huh?
Right.
No, he
right.
did not bend the knee. He ate the knee.
Right.
He definitely ate the knee. That was it. I'm telling you, this guy, I guarantee you he did something. He said something. He probably did, do you think he did something absurd or something wacky? Like, this is a guy who's talking about eating kneecaps. You're telling me that he didn't do anything at all at the half?
Slammed his head into a locker or something.
Right.
You know?
Remember, what was it, Necessary Roughness with your boy from Robert Loggia?
Robert Loggia. I love that guy.
Right? He was come on, you never saw that movie?
I never saw that movie, but I've seen Robert
Roughness.
Loggia in a lot of stuff.
Wait a second. Barrett, you never saw Necessary Roughness where
I did.
They pull Scott Bakula off the farm and he's got like a
Isn't he the quarterback?
Yes, and Sinbad is there.
I'm out on Sinbad.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm
Sinbad
sorry.
was a hell of a tackle. I heard Sinbad. Seriously, you want to know the attention to detail paid for that movie? I heard Sinbad watched a year's worth of film of Barrett Brooks playing the offensive
Is that right?
position in order to get ready for that. Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. And then Robert Loggia has to fill in for the great coach who was in the hospital that day, right, in the championship. And he comes in at the half and they're down. And he's like, nothing is working. This offense isn't working. This clipboard isn't working. This tie isn't working. You play football like Ed Gennaro played football. And you ram that ball down his throat. Couldn't you see Dan Campbell coming in there? You play football like Barry Sanders played football. And yelling and screaming left and right.
I could see that.
I
could.
That clip with Robert Loggia.
Yeah. Robert Loggia. Wasn't he Feach LaManna in Sopranos?
Yes.
Feach?
Yes, Feach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a gosh darn thing is working.
Yes, you remember that. See? And he rips the tie off. You play football like Ed Gennaro played football. Oh, man. Let me get that up there. Ed Gennaro. All right? That's one hell of a coach. That's all I'm saying. Nick Sirianni could learn a thing or two about Ed Gennaro. All right? Now, we also have, beyond this game here, Thursday night, where I have flipped. All right?
Yeah.
And now I'm going to go heavy on the over.
Where?
On the Washington football team game?
Thursday night.
Wow. On the over.
Yes.
Over what? 41?
40 and a half right
40 and a half now.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be going over 40 and a half on this football game, and I'll be doing it with confidence.
How?
Supreme confidence. Well, here's the thing, and I'll throw it to you, Barrett, specifically you and Harry on this thing. But I think what gets caught or what's going to get lost in translation here is how bad the offenses are. That equals no points. You're dealing with a backup quarterback. With Washington, Daniel Jones is the human equivalent of a turnover. Like he is a human, breathing, living turnover. So I understand that. But look, I think that factors into a lot of what I'm talking about, which is turnovers and short fields. I think you're going to get a lot of both. I think both quarterbacks are going to make mistakes. I think drives are going to end 3rd and long with sacks. The Giants defense can put pressure on Haneke, Tyler, as we know that Washington front is legit. So I don't see a lot of punting from your own 45. I see a lot of punting from like your 8.
Wow.
And shift and where short field turnovers, that sacks like that's where I think you're going to see a lot of that the defenses shine. So that's what I'm looking at, man. Is like, look, I don't need a lot of points here. 41 points to go over that total. I get a pick 6 or I get a fumble returned or I just get a bad decision. That
24-20 is what you're looking for.
That's really all I really need there. Or 27-21, something along those lines.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. That's all I mean.
Just fall into points, Bad teams fall into points.
Great phrase. I love that phrase.
Heineke's the backup, but I mean, he's had some, decent experience in the last year. I think there's a people down there that actually think that he might have been the better starter than Fitzpatrick.
Well, I was telling people, hey, I'm in all honesty, I'd rather play against Fitzpatrick because I know where he'd be. He'd be right there.
Right.
Heinicke, maybe he can run around, man. He can make plays with his feet. He almost beat, like I said, he almost beat that Tampa Bay team in the playoffs.
Yes, I know Muhammad Malik.
What's that?
I know he's starting this week, but he's the backup.
Well, that's the thing, though.
Fitz dislocated his hip.
And your point, though, I think is both of your points. If I'll just combine it real quick, and then we'll break and start the second hour. And that's you don't go into a season with a 38, 39, however the hell old Fitzpatrick is, starting quarterback, unless you are locked in confident.
Yeah.
That not only your backup can play, but that you're going to have to go to him. Like this isn't Joe Flacco or Nick Mullins or somebody that you're only going to go to if Jalen Hurts is significantly hurt and out. This is a guy that's going to play because Ryan Fitzpatrick is old.
Right.
Like you have to factor that in. So they clearly they're going to use, my point being is that they're going to use Heinicke.
I don't know.
In a situation that I think they've already prepared for. And for the most part, if it's preseason or what have you, it's not like everything is going to be dumbed down.
No, it's a smooth transition.
I think so.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Another year on his belt.
Perfect sense.
Yep. Yeah. Another year on his belt in this system. And the biggest thing is, just like with Jalen Hurts last year, that team really believes in him.
Yeah.
They're going to rally behind him. Remember what he did against, last year? They're going to be like, look, remember what he did last year? He's going to be able to play at a high level because his teammates around him are going to believe in what he's doing, bro. So they're going to score some points.
No, it's true, man. It's definitely something to look at by all means.
So you flip to the over.
I flipped to the over. All right,
Wow.
we're back in 3. Second hour coming up. It's the middle.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit. Glass is for cocktails, right?
It's for this, and that.
Is the length of the glass equal to your...
You betcha.
But is it made out of...
Glass?
Yeah, okay, but is the rip...
Smooth?
Will you stop doing...
That?
I'm the professional here.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. 1 free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. All from the company that's highly awarded. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and deliciously tasting vodka. So good, it just disappears.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
All right, second hour here. Our buddy Rob Guerrera, Stats, as he's known, will join us at 12:40 Eastern Time.
Yeah, he was the former producer for Mike and Mike in the morning, right? For a long time.
Well, yeah, he worked with Florio. He worked with Mike and Mike, Eric Casillas. He's worked on anything from, like, he was the guy who started the Pro Football Talk that changed it from a radio show to a TV show with Florio. He's
now he covers the Niners, right?
Well, yeah, he does stuff now for SB Nation. So he runs the Niners site, but he also does a lot just overall for the NFL. He's the best producer I've ever worked with. It's amazing.
Is that right?
Oh my goodness. And look, it's no knock on anybody else, right? Like, oh, well, somebody's going to tweet Andrew Salchunas or somebody like that. Like, no, don't worry. He's not in the running. But the point being is that Stats was just, he's so in tune with building and executing a show and also just having an idea of flow. And it's amazing. Like, to see a producer work like that is pretty impressive. So
now
we'll check.
I remember when we had your relative on.
Eytan Keller, yes.
Right, the producer. And he was listening into the show for a while we didn't know he was, like, lurking.
Correct.
And he gave us some suggestions, and he said what he liked or didn't like and all this kind of stuff. Maybe we should do that with Stats.
Well, be careful what you wish for.
Well, I know.
That's all I'm saying.
You might not like what you hear. I get it.
Stats is definitely okay to rip out the red pen. And strike through stuff. Hey, you didn't reset. You didn't remind people who. Hey, give Barrett's Twitter account out.
We worked for Matt Nahigian. We know what this is all about.
Yeah,
the red pen. All right.
I mean, like, I don't mean like every single second of a show like Nahigian would do. I mean, Stats would just bring it out at the end of the week and say, "All right, major inhale. Here's everything you did wrong." Bang, 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 bang.
Well, I heard from McMullen during the break.
Oh, you did you?
Yes.
Oh, you did he?
Yeah. Oh, he did he? I said the stream is saying that you ripped someone this morning. Sirianni, question mark. He says, I didn't rip anybody. I joked that the coaching staff talks in T-shirt slogans, which is getting annoying, Eytan. How about that?
Wow.
That's a great way to put it.
Oh, yeah, Eytan, you got to give me an on that, man, because that's what you've been saying for weeks now.
Yeah, I need more than an I need royalties on that one. What happened? Like, Mike, we definitely know John McMullen does not watch the middle. I can tell you that.
He doesn't have time. He's always he's always in meetings all the time.
Right.
He's telling you that he's always in meetings.
Right.
He ain't watching this show because we've been banging, or at least I've been banging that drum since the start of the season. Platitudes, all these other things. Where do you think it comes from? So what? McMullen just ripping our content off now and repurposing it for himself?
No, he doesn't watch the show. He doesn't even like this show.
Well, that's true. I stand corrected. So what about that, though? I mean, think about this. We now have beat reporters. We now have people that are down there on the day-to-day bringing this up, unsolicited, mind you. Just talking slogans, man. There's something about just not saying anything. You know, we make fun of Belichick all the time. Like, there's something about just not talking.
Well, at least until you really establish something. You know, then you can talk all you want with your T-shirts. I get what you're saying, Eytan. You know, it's like, you know, let's first establish some sort of brand identity here.
So you're saying they need to let this
let it breathe a little bit.
Yeah,
let it breathe a little bit.
You know, I'm learning that actually. You know, with doing these college football games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't have to always say something after the play-by-play guy says something.
Right.
You know, if the situation happens, like they score, and then, you know, at the end of the game, you know, Kansas beat them, and they went and scored the last touchdown. Right. And then they turned around. They said, just let it breathe a little bit, because then the crowd, you know, they came and
if there's a big crowd, let the roar sort of take over for a couple of seconds until you interject. You know,
not here, baby. We want platitudes. Give it to me. Give it to me. Damn it. Let's go. I want to hear it. You don't know what you don't know. Now you know.
Oh man.
Eytan's ready to explode right now.
I was talking with McMullen yesterday, and he was angry.
What is it? What did Jason Kelce say? A hungry dog eats or hunts or whatever it is. They've been talking like
Jason Kelce.
Yeah, Jason Kelce.
Yeah. He was angry because he was stuck in Atlanta in the airport. He couldn't get out of town.
For how long? For a whole day?
Like, this was late in the afternoon. He was still there.
On Tuesday?
Yesterday.
The game ended Sunday.
I know.
Wow. He must really like some food down there, or one of the strip clubs or something.
That's all. He was in Magic City.
Is that what it was?
That's where he was.
Magic City, right. He was eating wings. He was eating wings with Lou Williams.
Right.
They were neck and neck.
They're pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You're not going to get these back home at the door.
Lemon pepper, baby. Lemon pepper.
Yeah.
Do you have any college games in Atlanta, Barrett, this year?
No,
you going to do a Georgia Tech game?
No,
Georgia State?
I wish, man. I wish. You know, or if you do an Auburn game, you got to fly into Atlanta.
Right.
It just drive. It's easy to drive, because trying to get to, you know, Auburn or Alabama, it's so hard, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you're gonna have to have at least a 2-hour ride either way you go. So I'd rather fly into a big airport. That way, you know, when I get there, I know I'm gonna get a flight out.
Right.
You get to the little airport, sometimes they just cancel for no reason.
Right.
You know,
now we have Ian Rappaport weighing in here with Urban Meyer news.
Oh no.
Yeah, regarding the USC opening. Rap Sheet says Jaguars coach Urban Meyer answers a question about USC speculation now that the job is open. Quote, "No chance. I'm committed to here and building an organization." End quote.
That's coach talk.
Yeah.
Right.
That's coach talk.
So you're not buying it?
No.
I'm not buying it at all.
Not at all.
He's done it before. Nick Saban did it.
Well, Saban did it because he couldn't get Drew Brees to pass a physical.
Right.
I mean, if Drew Brees passes that physical, he ain't going to Alabama. Not then anyway.
That's a good point.
You know,
we saw that trade. We saw that failure right there. Major part of that with the physical. This one, I think, is just Urban Meyer. And look, I don't know why he gets a benefit. As Barrett said, we've seen this MO before, but this is the NFL, and it's much different, as we've seen college guys go, like Chip and others. So he may have researched this. He may have vetted the hire on his own end as much as possible. But when you're walking through and living that reality, and you realize how difficult it is to control a game, your players, the narrative around it, may just be like, look, man, this isn't for me. Like, Urban Meyer is a quitter. That's in his MO. He's done it before, 2 times over.
Yeah.
3, technically, right?
Yeah, 3.
So if it gets too tough in the NFL, he's already shown he's going to quit in college.
Yeah.
That's all I mean. Like, don't be shocked if he just leaves.
But I wonder if the Jaguars,
Like,
the Jaguars had won the game on Sunday, like the odds makers thought they would there be any speculations? The fact that they lost to the Texans, it's like, oh boy, Urban's not going to put up with this crap. He's going to leave for the first job available, and it happens to be USC, which is it used to be at least a great job.
Yeah, but real quick, remember there was a report that came out before the game, and that's when I knew my bet was cooked. There was a report that came out before the game was even played that Meyer had pissed off half of the team, allegedly.
Yeah.
So they didn't even lose a game yet before guys were coming out being like, I don't know who this dude thinks he is. And Jacksonville's a bunch of young guys.
I know. Is there anybody who's on that roster that could really say that kind of stuff?
Well, but that's my point in all of this, right,
Yeah.
guys? Like, how many times do we see, if you want to go back to Saban or Chip Kelly, there are veterans in the league who have been here. It's like your first summer or two coming home from college and you're now living at home. And it's like, man, I could smoke and drink and do all the other stuff at home in my dorm. And now I have to follow all these rules. Like, I can't, come on. Versus somebody who is like coming home in college, right? My point being is that you still had guys, you still have young people on Jacksonville who Urban Meyer should not be that far removed from dealing with in college that want none of his shit in the pros.
Right. No, I get it. It's not like he's dealing with a salty veteran group.
Yeah, you look at their roster.
He wouldn't buy that stuff.
Yeah, they're young, man. They're real young, man.
They are.
The veterans like Marvin Jones, you know what I'm saying? Receiver from Detroit. He's an elder statesman over there now. He just got there.
Yeah.
You got
and he's used to losing.
Jack.
He's used to losing, so that's a good benefit for Marvin Jones.
You got Miles Jack.
Right.
He's been there for years since 2016.
But that's what I mean. There's no Jason Peters here. There's no Jason Kelsey here.
Right.
There's no 10-year veteran that's leading a mutiny. It's young kids who are like, get this guy out of here.
Yeah. Now, Schefter reported yesterday, well, not sort of reporting, he's just saying league sources believe that Chiefs OC Eric Bieniemy will emerge as the leading candidate for USC's opening. He's a SoCal guy and apparently has told people close to him that USC is the only college job that would interest him.
Well,
yeah, he turned down going to his old alma mater, Colorado.
Colorado.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
Even if USC wasn't calling.
I know.
Do you give up?
That's a perfect landing spot for him right now. Well, not really a landing spot because he's already home right now. Would they allow him to do that? Hell no. They wouldn't allow him to go anywhere. Not right now. Miss the beginning of the season.
It's Andy Reid's offense anyway.
Well, we know that. We know, and you know what? You know what's going to happen if he leaves?
Doug
Peterson ends up right there.
Oh, but no, wait a second though. Don't they have that quarterback from Northwestern that is like the second OC there or something that he'd probably elevate? He was an Eagle for a short period of time.
Oh, that's right.
Mike
Kafka.
Kafka. That's the guy. Yeah,
Mike Kafka.
Kafka. Yeah.
How did I know what you said his name was going to come out like that?
Uh-huh.
Kaka? Who the hell is Kaka?
Mad Dog, you just can't stop yourself, man.
Nope.
But that's it. That is definitely it. Make no mistake. Wow.
But I can also see Doug coming back and getting back into the swing of things. So they're probably on the horn right now because if the enemy, I can't. It's just too early in the season to see him leave right now.
Man, if I'm Doug, I'll just chill.
Yeah, but if you
just keep cashing those checks, playing golf, and chill.
$6 million, baby.
That's right.
Well, 6.5. Isn't it 6.5?
I don't know. What's another $500K?
Why he's in Florida?
Right. Yeah.
Chilling.
Playing golf.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. When are those checks up?
After the year.
After this?
No. I think he has 2 years on his deal.
2 years. Yeah, I think so.
He's got 2 years on his deal.
Man, that's the life right there.
Bruh.
Yeah. I love the no-show job.
Right.
Yeah.
Just get paid to go home.
Just get paid to not show up. That's the ultimate in life.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I man, there's no way I'd even look at football.
No. Football. What's football?
Right. We're ready. I'm not ready to go nowhere.
Well, think about that, though. If you know you only have 1 year left after this year and Bieniemy does leave, you're not going to make the same amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wanted to get back into the game, is there a better place to go than under Andy Reid, Big Chicken Wing?
No, you're right. Yeah. It's a great place to sort of rehabilitate. Yeah.
No question. I'd be there in the New York Minute, bro.
Yeah.
I'm right there.
Yeah, either that or Bill O'Brien leaves to take a job in the NFL, and then Doug P goes to Saban's coaching rehab clinic and becomes his offensive coordinator.
Right.
Is there a connection between the two of them, or you just?
No, I'm just saying, like everybody that goes there to be the OC eventually gets a head coaching job and sort of re-images themselves.
Right,
Sarkisian was, I mean, everybody thought he was just like an alcoholic mess.
Right, when he left USC.
Now he's the head coach at Texas because he spent some time with Saban, and they realize, he's still got something.
That's not a bad call right there.
Then you lose your first game to Arkansas, and the Orange Bloods want you out of there already.
Already.
That's right.
Already. And remember, I told you guys, man, that's gonna be. I told you it was gonna be a good game. I know that was a great play because, I mean, at this point, the Razorbacks, they're on their way up.
Oh yeah,
they're ascending, and I knew it was going to be a close game, but I know they're going to win. But I knew it was going to be a close game because they're pretty good, man.
Oh,
they've been getting better.
The
stream's going
last
crazy.
Week to pull away, they had that cover, but it took forever. And that, I think it was Rice they took on 2 weeks ago, right? And it was or last week, whatever it was. No, 2 weeks ago because they beat Texas. And it just was taking so long, but they were making like self-inflicted wounds, and you could just tell that Arkansas was legit. They just couldn't put it together.
Right. They had the athletes. They had the athletes.
It was frustrating.
Stupid mistakes.
Second half, though, they put it together, and then they started to pull away. That's why I liked them last week. It's because it felt like people were looking at them struggling, thinking, oh, they're not good. No, they're good. They just were making mistakes. That's all.
Struggling. Now the stream, Joey B brings up an interesting one. Jack Del Rio to USC.
Where is he now?
That's a definite possibility.
I think he's with the Washington football team.
Yeah, he's the D coordinator.
He's the D coordinator there. Yeah, but he played at USC.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, and then Tone chimes in. Not Vanessa Del Rio.
No. who would be next in line following Jack?
Right.
Probably over a bunch of current candidates.
Right. I mean, if we're doing a Del Rio, Mount Rushmore, Vanessa's on there.
Absolutely. Jack is on there too. I'm sure there's a town Del Rio, right?
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yes. Somewhere maybe in Texas.
Yeah, exactly.
Down by the Rio Grande.
That's it. There's got to be a top 4 if we have it. That's all. That's all I'm saying. No, you're right. That's crazy in its own right.
There is a Del Rio, Texas.
I told you. See? It was just a matter of time.
Wow.
Just a matter of time before you found one.
Del Rio is a city and county. Is the city and the county seat of Val Verde County in southwestern Texas.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. We all see it.
Yep.
Right.
Now, have you taken a look at this Penn State game yet?
No.
Penn State hosts Auburn Saturday night.
Yeah, that's a great game.
That line is that total is too high. Sorry. Jesus, kid.
Ah, jeez.
That total is too high. 52.5. There's no way they hit that. Go under 52.5 all day. All day.
What time is that game? Is that a night game? No. Okay, good.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Well, like I said, if you're expecting offense, you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah. 52. It's 53 in some spots.
Even better.
Yeah.
That's a 48-point game right there. That's a 48, 49-point game at most.
I could see that.
Auburn's defense is good. They haven't played anybody.
Yeah.
And Penn State's defense is up there with Iowa.
I'm not a fan of either quarterback.
No, not at all.
Bo Nix and
Clifford.
Clifford.
Yeah, Clifford. No.
Well, Bo Nix just doesn't have many people around him. He's not a bad quarterback. They're just not that. This was supposed to be a rebuild year.
Yeah, he's been there a couple years. I mean, he's had some
That's what I
talent.
mean. Like, it's supposed to be a rebuild. It's just a rare scenario you have in college where it's a rebuild year for everybody outside of the quarterback, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
They got a new staff in there too.
Yep, I wouldn't rely on either of these quarterbacks to do anything like score points. Penn State, take the under first half, take the under in the game. There you have it.
All right.
There you go.
Those are the ones. I still don't know what to do with this Eagles game, but
I like the hook.
Well, I got in at 3 when it opened at San Fran, so I'm under there. But I was trying to build a little bit of a narrative.
Was it at 4 ever?
No.
No.
Which is surprising that it dropped and then bounced back so fast. But I have 4. All right, so I built a little narrative here. You ready?
Yes.
And this is where I'm at right now. So just pull this up here because it's all in different plays. So what I have is I have the Eagles coming out and winning the first quarter at home. A lot of excitement, a lot of fireworks, electricity in the air. I have them winning the first quarter money line play at plus 120. I then have them winning the first half, laying 3.5 in the first half. I think they're up by 4 to 7 points. And you see a pretty confident and commanding Eagles team in the first half. So I have them laying 3.5 first half play, and that gets me plus 230. Now, this is where it gets a little difficult. I have the third quarter as San Fran's quarter. Some adjustments have been made. That talent is there. We know that the pass rush can pick up a little bit. So I have San Francisco winning the third quarter, laying 2.5 by just all I need is them winning it by a field goal or more.
Okay.
So I have the San Francisco 49ers coming out and winning the third quarter after being down, and then ultimately winning the fourth quarter money line, laying 133 is San Francisco, and that's how they cover eventually that 3 points.
So you like them to win the game and cover the number? Niners.
I do, but I'm looking at this in segments now. Where I have the first quarter, the first
all in
half.
game.
Yes, first quarter. The narrative is that the Eagles get out and they get up and they have a first half lead that they eventually blow to a better football team, like simply just to a better football team. Not more than anything else outside of that. They lose to a better football team.
Wow, look at you going quarter by quarter.
Well, I don't have the second quarter, just the first half, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
Yes, first quarter, but not second.
All right. Now on the stream, AJB is looking for the Rutgers line. Rutgers doesn't play this week, I don't believe.
No, I wouldn't touch Rutgers.
No.
Would you? I mean, think about that. Rutgers has been a very difficult. Well, actually, no, they did cover 2 weeks ago.
Well, they covered against Temple easily.
Yeah, and that was no issue right there at all. That was a no-brainer.
Right.
Now, this Eagles game, I'm looking at a couple of these bets. Both teams to score 25-plus points. That's an overplay, by the way, is plus 205. Eagles to score in every quarter and win is plus 330.
See, I like that.
Eagles to score in every quarter.
I mean, field goals also, right?
Yeah.
So good. I like that.
And win.
Oh, and win.
That's what I'm saying. It's and win.
Oh,
that's plus 330.
It's a nice return.
You know,
but I don't know about that.
This is one I think I'm going to place a wager on.
I like them plus 3.5, but I think they could easily lose the game by 3.
So that would be the bigger problem, is winning the game as opposed to scoring in every quarter.
Yeah.
Right. That's why it's bumped up to plus 330. Now, what about this? What if I were to give you the same bet, except I would swap out the Eagles and replace them with the Niners? Niners to score in every quarter and win is plus 160. So the return is
No,
not
half.
fantastic.
It's half, basically.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, that alone is reason to stay away. But are you interested at all in that bet?
No.
Now, why? Because the Niners stand a better chance of winning this game.
Yeah, I don't know about scoring in every quarter.
So the Eagles score in every quarter. You guys have no problem with that, but the Niners.
Well, it's plus 330, but I don't like them to win.
Okay.
That's the thing right there. I mean, just being realistic from an analyst standpoint, that's a defense that, if you don't run the ball on them and make them tired, they're going to keep coming with waves and waves of athletic talent, man. And eventually, that athletic talent will take over if you allow them to, stay off the field and, 1, 2, 3 and out. And that could be a serious possibility with this offense.
Big problem, right?
Yeah.
You
have to play them consistently. You got to, long drives. Keep the ball. They have to win. They have to win. They have to win the clock at the end of the day, man. They got to have more time with the ball. They have to, keep that defense on the field.
Yes.
So I don't know, man.
No, I'm sorry. I was going to say that.
But that's scoring every quarter if you do that.
Yep.
But winning,
Major risk.
Yep.
Major risk, right?
Yep.
Scoring every quarter is such a big ask, man. Such a big ask.
The Eagles are 7-2 against the number in their last 9 games against the Niners.
Wow. I mean,
7-2.
Yeah, but how much has the team changed over? Right? There's a lot of stuff.
Oh, I know. It's just a trend, but it's kind of a, it's not 3 or 4 game trend. It's a 9 game trend.
Right.
Yeah.
9 game trend. I understand. But that's the difficulty of it, right? Is that you're still running into like 9 games ago when that trend first started. Who was the coach? Chip Kelly?
I'm not sure.
Right. We're far removed from that. That's all.
Yeah. That's Chip Kelly. Yeah.
Yeah. You probably have gone through 3 coaches. 3 different.
They lost
coaches.
the last game. Chip Kelly lost his last game in San Fran.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You're right. That was a big major loss there that last time.
Right.
All right, we're going to take a quick one here. Remember, Stats is going to join us. Rob Guerrero is going to join us coming up at, 14 minutes or so from now as he covers the 49ers out there for SB Nation. He is major involved in their NFL stuff as well. So a lot to chat with about Stats, and I'm sure Harry may sneak in a question about Golick or something along those lines from back in the day.
No.
Why? He's open. He'll talk about anything.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. You can ask him about Mike Golick.
No, I like Golick. I would rather have him come on and bash Greenberg.
Well, I don't
think he's going to do that.
No, probably not. Although I'm sure he will tell a story or something that would not necessarily put Greeny in the best light, but just not make him like he won't tell a story that will embarrass Greenberg, but there might be something that would be self-deprecating for Greenberg that we could ask. It's not going to be to the level of that football player admitting that he was doing homework for his son.
Yeah.
That needed to be in special ed. That is a hell of an admission right there.
Wow.
I got to give that guy credit. You ever find out who that was?
Who was that guy?
I was on, I saw Lital tweet it out. Somebody's got to know that.
Oh,
BSO.
BSO? Yeah.
All right. We're back in 3. Hit us up. Make sure you smash away on that like button and you are subscribed to the JAKIB Media YouTube page. Stats on fire coming up in about 12 minutes. It's all here on the middle.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit. Glass is for cocktails, right?
It's for this, and that.
Is the length of the glass equal to your...
You betcha.
But is it made out of...
Glass?
Yeah, okay, but is the rip...
Smooth?
Will you stop doing...
That?
I'm the professional here.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. 1 free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. All from the company that's highly awarded. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and deliciously tasting vodka. So good, it just disappears.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 to 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
Still looking at this major game. Stats is going to join us coming up in about 9 minutes or so.
I can hardly hear you, Eytan.
You can hardly hear me?
Yeah. It was really low.
Still?
Now it's better.
You're good now, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
weird. I don't know why.
No, it's kind of muffled now.
Still?
I think it's Teddy. Teddy's interference on the mic.
Testing the speakers on StreamYard. Sounds like they're working.
You can hear that, right?
Yes.
Right.
Perfectly
What was-
clear.
what was that?
What was that?
Testing the speakers on StreamYard. Sounds like they're working.
Testing the speakers on
To make sure
StreamYard.
that everything's working.
Yeah.
Like my levels are up.
Okay.
Sounds like they're working.
You know? My levels are up. That's all.
Okay.
I wanna make
That's
sure
all right
that
now.
You could hear me.
Yeah.
That's it. All right.
Did you see on the
Good.
Monday night game that Mark Davis, the owner of the Raiders, was playing a slot machine?
Yes.
In his suite.
Yes.
How about that? He's playing like Wheel of Fortune slots.
And it was Wheel of Fortune, which is a shady slot. I mean, those fancy ones with all the bells and whistles and the videos on it and stuff. You need your old school slot. That's a looser slot. Those are the ones that are going to pay out.
Well, that's the Tony Bruno slot, the Wheel of Fortune slot.
What's wrong with Mark Davis, man?
I don't know, man.
Guy's got a haircut that's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Crazy. Does he have a mirror in his house? That's what I'm wondering.
Right? Like
Yeah,
a lot of super uber rich folks, like Barrett, you probably have a mirror room. You're rich enough, right? You got a room with all
a room full of mirrors, Barrett.
Right.
No.
No?
On, man, no.
No? No?
Now, he doesn't have any mirrors when he looks like that. He doesn't have any mirrors. No.
There's no chance.
I mean, come on. You're that rich, man. You can't get your hair, the plugs or whatever, man. Come on, man.
There's definitely something to that.
Yeah.
Where he just and maybe people around him just don't care enough about him to help him.
Right. Nobody wants to dare step up and say, "Hey, Mark, your hair looks like shit." Okay? Shave it off.
That's almost like a power. That's a power play there. Like, all right, look, I know my hair looks like this.
Right.
But damn it, nobody better say anything about it.
Right. I'm doing it anyway.
We all see it.
Right.
We all see it, but you better not say nothing. You better not say nothing.
Wow.
That's true.
It's like the guy that has all the nose hairs coming out of his nose and knows that they're there, right? And he has a nose hair trimmer, but he's like, you know what? I ain't doing it. I'm not here to please you.
Nobody,
right?
And nobody there is going to say anything in that household. Like, you know, maybe you should trim these nose hairs.
Right.
Oh, come on now. What are you doing?
All right, I got to ask you.
I'm doing.
You got to go out.
I got to ask you before we get stats on here. They're making a big deal out of this. Like, this is breaking news that the Rockets have made John Wall available for trade. Okay.
Really?
They're obviously in a youth movement, and he's a veteran with a big bloated contract. He's had injury problems. No kidding. He's available for trade. Like, I just am like, no, Daryl Morey, please. No, don't just make a move to make a move.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I hope not.
And look, it's not going to be Ben Simmons for Wall, if that's what you're concerned about. Is that what you're nervous about?
What do you mean?
Like the big return that you get for Ben Simmons finally being dealt is John Wall.
No. Hell no.
Okay. So you just don't want John Wall here as a whole. It's not so much that you don't want John Wall traded for Ben Simmons.
Yeah, either one.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I don't want anything to do with John Wall at this point in his career. No.
Yeah, I'm with you on that as a whole. But if they found a way to move, somebody that's not named Maxey or Simmons for John Wall, that's not the end of the world. Now, it would make absolutely no sense from a salary standpoint as well.
Right.
Right.
He's got a huge contract.
It would make very little sense. But also, trading him for Ben Simmons, I think also is something that you don't have to worry about either. Like, that's not going to happen.
Good.
That, right?
Good.
I would hope not.
Yeah.
Now, let's go out here and bring in Rob Guerrera. Stats, of course, at Stats on Fire is how you can follow him on Twitter.
Wow, look at that backdrop. He's got all the Niners stuff there, a couple of shelves, a couple of animated figures.
SB Nation NFL. Those are the shows. We've already run down your extravagant resume, sir, of working on some of the most famous shows in the history of sports media. So first and foremost, it's always a pleasure to see you and hear you. And for Barrett Brooks and Harry Mays as well, welcome.
Well, thank you very much. I'm just grateful you having me on.
Eytan said that you are the best producer that he has ever worked with.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's high praise.
Saying something, right?
Checks in the mail, Eytan.
Well, there are certain people that I do that to that I know their budget, that the check comes and it's worth cashing. So you're one of them. I do that with Barrett all the time too. Barrett's the best former player I've ever worked with. So if I get a check from Brooke, I know it's worth cashing. Harry, it's more struggle opening up the envelope than it is going to cash it.
Exactly. It's not even worth the squeeze.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
No, look, we appreciate you, my friend. And I know that there is a ton going on here with both of our football teams. So why don't we start with an obvious question for us, at least, and we're just trying to figure your squad out. How in the world do the Philadelphia Eagles beat the 49ers on Sunday? Because even homers here on this show are trying to figure that one out.
Oh, I'm nervous. I think there's a very clear path for the Eagles to beat the 49ers, and it's Jalen Hurts. The 49ers have struggled against mobile quarterbacks. They have a ton of athletes, but for whatever reason, they cannot keep these guys hemmed in, and they really hurt the 49ers. Even last year, the Eagles, Carson Wentz, I think ran for like 66 yards in that game against the 49ers. He really couldn't throw the ball, but he was killing them with his legs. So I expect to see a lot of Jalen Hurts running around on Sunday. I think the Eagles have a very good chance to win this game.
I did not see any of the Niners-Detroit Lions game. Just looked at a couple of highlights. But what happened in the second half with the Niners? They just lose interest and take their foot off the gas?
It was a sequence of events like I've never seen. The game was 41-17 with 2 minutes to go. And it ended up being a one-score game. The 49ers took their foot off the gas. Nick Bosa was out of the game. He said he had his tape off. Like, he was not expecting to go back into the game. The Lions got kind of a garbage time touchdown, kicked an onside kick that went off of George Kittle's face mask. They got the ball back. They scored again. onside kick. The Niners get the ball. It's third down. They complete the pass. Then Deebo Samuel fumbles the ball back to the Lions, and the Niners had to make another stop. Wow. It was an insane sequence, and I'm sweating it out with 30 seconds to go.
Wow.
Unbelievable, But, I mean, look, is health still an issue for you guys? Because I know Nick was it still seems like he's a little banged up right now, but what is the health of your team?
Well, it's not great. Their best cover corner, Jason Verrett, is gone for the year with a torn ACL. They are really, really thin at cornerback. I'm worried that Devontae Smith is going to have a field day because their best cornerback now is Emmanuel Mosley, who didn't play in week 1 because he was hurt. He's still a question mark. Then it's, the ghost of Josh Norman out there and a couple of rookies for the 49ers. It's really, really dicey at corner. And, excuse me, they lost Raheem Mostert, but I think Elijah Mitchell, the rookie they have there, can pick up the slack in that department. But at corner, they're hurting.
Yeah, the running game, it seems like we've seen this before. And to your point about Mostert being out already with Mitchell playing and taking the majority of the snaps as soon as Mostert was hurt, it just feels like, not to downplay it, but they've already shown that if it's next man up or the system, that they'll be okay there. The corners, though, it's a little interesting because we've already seen the Philadelphia Eagles dismantle this Atlanta Falcons defense, but they had no pass rush. So that's really where I'm interested to see how much the Niners' aggression up front can help compensate for anybody down or missing in that secondary.
That's what I want to see, too, because what's usually happened with this group with the 49ers is that Bosa and D Ford are so good that they're immediately up the field, which is great, except that when you have a mobile quarterback, he's just going to step up and take advantage of the fact that those guys are out of the passing lanes now, and there's going to be room for them to run around. And it seemed like something that they never corrected when Robert Saleh was the defensive coordinator there. So I really want to see how DeMeco Ryans, if he changes the scheme, if he has a different approach, because I think that's really where Philadelphia is going to be able to extend plays, and the corners are not going to be able to cover for that long.
So, DeMeco Ryans now the new defensive coordinator. How's he look thus far, the first game?
I didn't love it, to be honest with you, Barrett. Like, he has the best coverage linebacker in the league, and they chose not to put him in man coverage on TJ Hawkinson, who was the only legitimate threat Detroit had as a receiver. And Hawkinson ends up with, I think, 9 catches and a touchdown. I mean, you would think that you would put your greatest strength against the offense's greatest strength, but that did not happen. And another thing I didn't love was when the Lions are trying to come back, the touchdown that they scored to make it a 1-score game, they got out of bounds on every single play in that drive. So they didn't have to use any of their timeouts, and they didn't burn any of the clock. If I'm DeMeco Ryans, you have to give up the yardage in the middle of the field. If they're going to complete passes, you don't let them get out of bounds. That's the one thing you can't do. So I want to cut him some slack. It was his first game ever calling the plays as a defensive coordinator. But, it was week 1 for everybody, so to speak. So hopefully he, gets a little more comfortable and things look a little different this week.
What do you think about the matchup of Nick Bosa against Jordan Mailata? That's something I'm really going to focus in on this week. Anxious to see if Mailata can hold up.
I'm anxious to see Nick Bosa, too. I miss Nick Bosa so much last year. He looked really good in week 1, had a few pressures, got a sack. He sets the tone, and he unlocks so much of that defense because when Bosa is there, it allows Eric Armstead to move inside on pass rush situations, which is the only real place he can be consistently effective. And they have D Ford coming from the other side, who's not going to face a ton of double teams because you have to double Nick Bosa. He sort of unlocks the whole the game plan for the Niners on defense. He has to be effective. And like I said, with the coverage issues at corner that the Niners have, if they don't get a consistent pass rush and a quick pass rush, they're in trouble.
How much do you think we'll see Trey Lance?
Yeah.
I don't know. This whole thing is the most frustrating thing for me as a 49ers fan. You give up 3 first-round picks to get this guy. He doesn't win the starting job out of camp, despite the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo was nothing special and is nothing special. Then they put him in for 4 snaps against the Lions. He had a touchdown pass on his first snap, which was great. Or not his first snap, but he had a touchdown pass. And then they put him in for 3 more times, and he just ran up the gut for 1 yard. Like, how is that helping his development? One of the plays they put him in for was 3rd and 20, and he just ran it up the gut. Like, what are we doing here? It's amazing. You've got Trey Lance, their first-round pick. He played 4 snaps. You've got Aaron Banks, their second-round pick. He was injured, so he didn't play in the game. Their third-round pick was Trey Sermon at running back, and guess what? He was a healthy scratch before the game. So you got your first 3 picks in the draft. You got nothing from them at all. It doesn't make sense to me. I have no idea how much we'll see Trey Lance. I don't think Kyle Shanahan knows how much we'll see Trey Lance. He said as much after the game that he didn't really have a plan for him, which is very concerning since that should be the entire focus of the organization. So I wish I had an answer for you, but I don't.
Looking at you guys have the best left tackle in the league, one of the best left tackles in the league in Trent Williams. But on the other side, Mike McGlinchey, he's a local kid from out here, Notre Dame guy. I haven't seen him, fight, man, or really go out there and impose his will on people, man. What do you guys see the glaring disparity at your right tackle position? I mean, does anybody else see what I'm saying?
Everybody else sees what you're seeing.
We all see it.
He is the number one target of 49ers fans other than Jimmy Garoppolo. He's a rusty gate at right tackle. Anytime you need to rush the 49ers in a must-pass situation, a critical spot, you saw it at the end of the game they played against the 49ers last year. He lets pressure in. He can't stop a bull rush. He gets overpowered. You can see that he's thinking about it. He admitted it that last year he really got into a dark place and he started doom scrolling on social media because everybody's posting the clips of him getting whipped. He's a liability in pass protection. He just is. And, I hope that the 49ers can compensate for that. But last time they played, the Eagles had 15 quarterback hits. And to be honest with you, I could see them putting up similar numbers this week.
Getting back to the quarterback situation, we had a situation here last year with a starting quarterback and, seeing a guy over his shoulder in a second-round draft pick, and we all know how it worked out. What is the dynamic between Garoppolo and Lance? I mean, is that something where Garoppolo's like, you just looking at the coach like, all right, when am I getting pulled?
So it's funny you mentioned this. I just wrote a piece for NinersNation.com. Jimmy Garoppolo was on KMBR yesterday, and he was asked about the whole situation. And he said his exact quote was, "It is what it is, and I'm making the best of it." Clearly, he doesn't like it, which I don't blame him. But then he added, and this is the first time where I've started to see sort of like a little bit of a crack in the professionalism, because he's played it pretty straight up to this point. He said, "I know how the guys in the locker room feel. I know they're behind me. As long as I have their support, I'll do whatever it takes to win." That made me a little nervous because we all sort of expect Trey Lance to take the reins at some point.
Yep.
And to me, that sounds like Jimmy saying, hey, the guys in the locker room are behind me, and if you do this, there's going to be a problem. That made me a little nervous.
Well, doesn't that make sense, though? Like, whenever you have a quarterback that has won, that has taken a team or been part of a team that has played deep into the postseason, that you've got, like, we can't mention veterans, Trent Williams and others, without mentioning how aware they would be going to a rookie quarterback week 3 and essentially tanking your season to the point where the expectations are much different, right? So wouldn't it stand to reason, Stats, that the veterans, that guys who have had success with this quarterback and Jimmy G would be thinking, whoa, we got a legit shot at winning this division. We got a legit shot at winning this conference.
That is a tough division, too.
It is.
Yeah.
But if you go to the unknown, you may like Trey Lance. He may tell great jokes. He may be a fun guy to go out and eat with. But that's a large gap as far as what Jimmy G has already done on the field.
I completely understand why the players in the locker room would support Jimmy Garoppolo for the reason you just said, especially Trent Williams. He knows how hard it is to get deep into a season, into the playoffs and the Super Bowl. This is why I have been saying all offseason, the 49ers never should have let Jimmy Garoppolo stay on this roster this year. You can't move into a place with your new girlfriend while the old girlfriend is still living there.
Right.
That just is not going to work out for you. And as long as Jimmy's on the roster, and by the way, getting paid $24 million, there's going to be, bad juju there. Of course, Jimmy doesn't want to get pulled from games. Who would? I wouldn't want to. And so it's a crazy dynamic there. It's not good juju. And the only thing that I would say, Eytan, is I don't think you're tanking your season if Lance goes in, because I think Lance right now can do everything that Jimmy Garoppolo did last year. He didn't do anything special. You know what he did? He ran the Jimmy Gimmies. That's what we call them. All these easy dink and dunk plays that Kyle Shanahan designs and schemes open to basically put the training wheels on Jimmy and try to prevent him from screwing it up. And Jimmy Garoppolo did all he could last year to screw it up at times. So it's a weird dynamic. So far, it's been good, but I do wonder what happens if they try to make the switch to Trey Lance and, half the locker room is not happy about it.
Well, you talk about the locker room, is it, a divided locker room? Because I see the defense, as all world. And sometimes I see that offense kind of, it's almost like a clock. It tick-tocks just a little bit, then it slows down. I mean, what exactly, is going on as far as the dynamics of that locker room?
I want to give Kyle Shanahan credit because even though he has had 3 10-loss seasons in 4 years, the locker room has seemed to be very, very good. Everybody seems to be pulling in the same direction. Even when they were losing all these games, the locker room, he seemed to have the team. So maybe that's part of the reason he thought he could pull this sort of roommate switch off with the quarterbacks. I don't know, but they seem to be together right now. That seems to be one of the strengths of his regime. But I think he's really putting that to the test this year, and we'll see how it works out.
One thing about Shanahan is he made Nick Mullins look somewhat playable. I mean, we saw Nick Mullins here for a bit in the preseason. He's just straight hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
Yeah.
And that's been the frustrating thing with Jimmy Garoppolo is that people say, well, look, Kyle Shanahan hasn't had success with these other quarterbacks. And what I keep arguing and people arguing for Trey Lance keep saying is that's because the other 2 quarterbacks were a couple of trash bags. Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard shouldn't even be in the league. Right. The standard isn't, can Jimmy Garoppolo play better than them? Yeah. The standard is, can Jimmy Garoppolo compete with Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes? And we saw in Super Bowl 54, he cannot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you look at the division, though. I mean,
brutal.
The division is looking as such that they should be able to compete. Looking at your roster and as they go forward, I mean, I see the 49ers as a powerhouse. I mean, we're looking at them that way here in Philadelphia.
They should be, but they absolutely should be. They have a defense, they've got players, they've got a great play caller on offense, but it all comes down to the quarterback. Sometimes playing quarterback is all about the worst thing that you do. And the worst thing that Jimmy Garoppolo does, and all the 49ers quarterbacks, to be honest, because they coming into the year, they were minus 36 in turnover differential under Kyle Shanahan. That was the worst in the league. The worst thing the 49ers quarterbacks do is turn the ball over. We saw it last week. Jimmy Garoppolo, first snap, fumbles it, turnover. Like, he can't help himself. It's unreal. And so when that happens, it doesn't matter how good your defensive line is or your play caller or anything else, you're going to lose.
Is he still dating adult film stars?
Technically, I don't believe they were dating. I think they went on a date.
They hung out. Yeah.
Yes.
There's only one. So Harry's using stars. And
well, I don't know.
Well, I think if we can all agree, if there's one area Jimmy Garoppolo probably does not struggle, it's the dating scene, I would think.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely. Speaking of struggle, I'm curious, Stats. When we look at last week and really coming into it with the backdrop of the Eagles game on Sunday, what's more of a reality? Is it, or what's closer to a reality? Is it Brandon Ayuk's disappearance or is it Deebo Samuel's domination?
Oh, man, that is a tough question because I think both are true, to be honest with you. Deebo Samuel showed last week that he can be more than just a gadget player, more than just the reverses and the drop passes behind the line of scrimmage. He can get down the field, he can run routes, and he can be effective at multiple levels of the defense. The problem is this Ayuk thing is really troubling. Kyle Shanahan has a history of putting guys in the doghouse, especially wide receivers. And once you check in, you don't check out with Kyle for whatever reason. And coming into the training camp, Ayuk was great. He was like the star of camp. Everybody was talking about how good he is. And I don't know if he started listening to all that and got complacent, but for whatever reason, he is firmly in the doghouse. And I think Kyle looks at it like, dude, I don't need you. I can scheme open anybody. And I mean, literally, he didn't start him. He was the number 1 wide receiver going into the season. He said, no, we're going to start Trent Sherfield instead of you. You can watch when we open the game.
Wow.
Something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely something. So what's the general feel here? Well, I'm not going to ask for a score or anything like that, but you said you were nervous at the start.
Yep.
You're dealing with a ton of fans, Niners Nation, SB Nation, NFL, at Stats on Fire, of course, for Stats on Twitter. What's the general feel for this game? Win, easy win, loss. If they don't clean their shit up as far as what happened in the second half with Dan Campbell's Lions, they're going to come out and lose to the Eagles. Where's the general consensus from the fan that you've been interacting with?
I think the fan looks at it like, that was some scary stuff that happened last week, but we still won the game, and that's the wake-up call, right? So now we're going to come out and we're going to grind Philadelphia into dust. The problem with that is all the problems that showed up last year when they played are kind of still here. So it's going to be a dicey game, but I think the overall feeling is that as long as Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't play as badly as Nick Mullins did in that game last year, that the 49ers should win. But you guys know, shoulds and woulds do not add up to anything, especially in the National Football League, especially when you're on the road, which is going to be a crazy environment. It's going to be loud. The fans are going to be going after Jimmy. And again, I think the 49ers should win, but I'm very, very nervous and wouldn't be stunned at all if Philadelphia pulled it out. And I definitely would take the points and the Eagles for sure.
Yeah, I already did. You got any? Do you have any dirt that you can give us on Mike Greenberg that you feel safe in giving out to the public?
See, I was going to come at it a different way.
Okay, go ahead.
Golick and all these other ones, but no, Harry can't help himself. And
I'm fascinated by him.
Mike Greenberg is exactly the guy that you see on the air. It is not an act. The story I always tell with Greeny is like Eytan did, and you guys have been doing. Everybody calls me Stats. When I was at ESPN, it was Stats. I started working on the show. That's what everybody called me. One morning, I pick up the phone. This is like at 4 o'clock, 5, whatever it was in the morning. It's Greeny on the other end. But when I pick up the phone at work, I say ESPN Radio. This is Rob, because no one outside of the company knows my nickname. So ESPN Radio, this is Rob. I hear on the other end. Rob, it's Greeny. Is Stats there? I said, Greeny, I've been working on this show for 2 years. Rob is my first name. So that's it. That's my Greenberg.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
You just made Harry's month.
That is great.
Now you have to have one that's maybe not on the same vein of it, but a story of Golick, not only because of just how fantastic and how much of a pro and really how great of a host and broadcaster he was, but here, he's local to us.
And a great guy too.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, we love him. We eat him up here in Philly. So what's an undertold go-to Golick story that you have for us?
Let's see. Well, the all-time Golick story that I think of is, so he would have to do Mike and Mike, which was 6 to 10 back in the day. And then later in the day, he would have to do NFL Live or other stuff at ESPN. So he would go up in his cubicle, because for some reason, Mike Golick didn't have an office for the longest time at ESPN. And you would go into the cubicle looking for Golick, and he wouldn't be on the chair. The chair would be pushed all the way to the side, and 6'4" Mike Golick would be sleeping on the ground on his cubicle using the recycle bin as a pillow.
Wow. It's like George Costanza or something.
Right.
Costanza had a better setup. Mike was just sitting on the floor. And this would happen like multiple times. It's just like part of his routine. And that was it. He needed to catch some Z's, and recycle bin, if it's empty, it kind of bends in the middle there. So I guess it got comfortable enough to sleep.
Jeez.
That's amazing. I'm sure Barrett has done that every now and again at the Wells Fargo.
Oh, yeah, for NBC Sports.
I just sleep in my car, man. I just slept in my car. Man.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
that's not good sleep.
No.
Right.
No.
We've all done. Look, you work long enough in radio, TV. You've had to sleep in your car at some point in between shifts or whatever the case may be. And you're right. That is not a fun sleep at all. You never can sleep enough to wake up from that car nap and feel like, I'm
refreshed.
Right. Yeah. It's brutal.
Wow.
All right, brother. We appreciate you big time. Anything else you want to get out? Niners Nation, SB Nation, NFL, at Stats on Fire, a book, an album that you have coming out here?
A book. I don't know. I don't do a lot of reading. I'm not sure I could handle a book, but I appreciate it, guys. Check us out if you can at the SB Nation NFL show. Anytime you need me, I'm here for you.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Rob.
it, bro. Yep.
We appreciate you. Rob,
That was great.
At Stats on Fire on Twitter. All right, we're out of here. Now, Barrett is off tomorrow, back Friday.
Correct.
And we will do our best to track down Dave Zangaro, who's probably going to bounce on us, right?
Right. Same thing that everybody else is doing.
Okay.
They got the I guess the press conference and all the players and stuff, whatever.
We'll figure it out. All right, we'll figure it out. Have a great day to everybody out there, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the memories. Go for the view that goes on forever. Go for the bubbles in your bathtub and in your drink. Go to bed whenever you want. Or don't. Go for him. Go for her. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Hey everybody, this is Krause of the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. Thanks for watching this video. And before we do anything else, make sure you watch, like, and subscribe to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel and leave a comment below that you are subscribed. This video is all about our big 2021 season ticket holder giveaway. That's right, we're giving away a pair of Eagles season tickets for the entire season. You'll go to all 8 games at the link. Now, here are the rules. Remember, first, like, share, and subscribe. Let us know below that you have subscribed to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. You must follow all of the rules leading up to our giveaway, which will take place on Friday, September 17th. More on that in a moment. You must confirm in the description of this video that you are subscribed. And on Friday night, September 17th, starting at 7 p.m., when we'll do a live broadcast right here on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel, you must be present on that Friday night. Again, a pair of Eagles season tickets for the 2021 season. You're going to absolutely love it. Why is JAKIB Media giving away a pair of Eagles season tickets? On behalf of all of our subscribers, our new subscribers, and those subscribers who have been with us from the very beginning, this is our way of saying thank you. But wait, there's more. Thursday night on September 16th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Screwballs in King of Prussia. So if you're from the Philadelphia region, get to Screwballs in King of Prussia. 5 pairs of opening tickets for the game against San Francisco. Eagles jerseys, giveaways, bus trip details, all kinds of great stuff coming out. And oh, by the way, we're going to begin registering for our trip to Las Vegas when the Eagles go in to Vegas to play the Raiders. All of this compliments and courtesy of JAKIB Media Sports.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You